seen the last two games, so it's difficult for me to make an opinion as to how Carlton have actually played. I've only got to see what the media reported and highlights, simply on the road. Look, sometimes that happens with me, and as much as I want to follow my footy team and see as much of what's going on with the Mighty Blues, it has been disappointing to see the result. We're now 4-0. We lost to Essendon and they really did towel us up with 81-point defeat. The loss to Melbourne, again, didn't expect that. Haven't expected any of the losses this year. And up until the belting by Essendon, we'd sort of played okay. We were just losing in the last quarter. We weren't up to score. And we weren't getting the goals to win the games. And I still believe football is a simple game. As for the team, maybe we don't have the manpower. I am not one to get on the bandwagon and start harping about it's the coach's fault, or it's the player's fault, or it's the way the moon's shining on the night time, or whatever. It's the way football is this year, and it's the way this football is in the current way that AFL football is played, is that football teams don't dominate anymore, and the style of game that is played is very different to what I grew up with when Carlton were a dominant force in the 70s and 80s. How are we going to go for the rest of the season? I still believe we're going to win games. I still believe we'll manage to pick up games that people won't expect us to win. As the season goes on, injuries will take their toll. Having lost 4 games to start the season off is definitely not the way to start any football season. And maybe we are. No chance at all of making the finals yet. Who knows? We might suddenly turn the corner and suddenly other teams might start to fall by the wayside. I'm an optimist. I believe we are good enough to win games of football and win enough games to make the finals. I'm not going to be one of those people who sits on the fence and starts harping about what's wrong with the club. I don't know. I'm not a genius when it comes to AFL football. I'm certainly not smart enough to coach a football team. I'm certainly not smart enough to be able to figure out the strategy of how to play a game or how to match up players on a field. All I do is barrack for the Navy Blues. And we're a great footy club, we're a great footy team, and at the moment we just aren't winning games. And that's simply it. No point in me jumping off the bandwagon and saying, oh well, my season's over. No way. I'll still go through the entire season and watch our games be played out. Richmond, who beat us in the second game of the season, lost. Other teams have lost as well. The upsets that happened. Adelaide last year was the 7th best defensive team in the competition. This year, they're not. They're way down at the bottom end with us. That's a change in a system of football that's played this year from last year. You can't go around picking out individual players or individual statistics. It's the overall picture of how our Australian rules football. Australian rules football isn't about statistics. It isn't about players. It isn't about the coach. It isn't about the club. It's about the complete package. And this year, we've fallen by the wayside to start the season off. Still a lot more games to go yet. Don't be surprised. Bring on September. Let's see how Carlton go. Go you Blues!